Hello and welcome to Know Thy Shelves. This is Rachel.
And Michelle. Glad to have you back again with us. So we're gonna, Rachel did not do very well with reading books this week.
I had a water heater issue and I got sick, so there's a lot.
Yes, totally get it. I have some books. I can kind of maybe like gloss over them, but I think Rachel wanted to start with book news.
Okay, so the sixth ACOTAR book, which is A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you had to get it. Yeah. Yes.
They just announced that the new one will hit stores sometime in the next year. So there's a new
That's so far away.
a new ACOTAR book coming.
That's like 7 months of somewhere in there, guys.
Yeah, that's all I know at this point. And then there's been a lot of stuff with Kindle Unlimited.
Oh gosh, I'm scared. Okay.
So, with all the boycotts going on,
Okay.
it's affecting indie authors. So
I think I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the algorithm, you pay your subscription, and
Yes.
then like after a certain amount that you read, it's like 2,000 some pages. Like you paid off your subscription. You've read more than your subscription.
Right.
But
Or if you want to think about it as one book, usually it's about $10
Yeah.
anyways.
the authors get paid per page. So
Okay.
everybody boycotting is fucking the indie authors more than it's fucking Jeff Bezos.
Okay. I gotcha.
So if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, keep it, but read over 2,000 pages in a month.
Which I have no problem with anyways.
Just saying, it helps the indie authors.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's good,
Yeah.
good to know. Okay, so I've read 4 books total this week, if you include Birthday Girl, which we're going to talk about in a minute. One of the other books that I read was the 3rd book in a trilogy that just released, and now I gotta wait for the 4th book and the 5th
Always.
book. Yes. But it's a really good, it's kind of a why choose dark urban fantasy, which I had to actually look up what the
Usually in city settings, and
Yeah.
they have like guns and shit.
Yeah, it's like more modern setting fantasy, which I guess I just didn't realize it had its, I mean, I should have realized it had its own freaking genre, but, so yeah, it's paranoia, and so it's actually his enemy to lover, and it takes 3 fucking books for the obviously the guy's part of it, to realize, oh, she's not bad. Well, no fucking shit! But, you know, of course there's this, like, one main, like, guy character that is, like, with her through it all, you know, and I'm just like, I love you. It's like, that's who, you know. Anyways, so it's a pretty good one, but of course it ended with a cliffhanger, and I'm like, why?
And then how long do you have to wait?
May, which isn't too long, but still too long. Anyways, another one that I'll just go over the one that I really found interesting out of the 4 books I read is Waifs and Stray, which is kind of like the MC is kind of older, so she's like in her 40s, which obviously isn't old, but it's older than most books when you do point of view, you know. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but so it really plays on, you never judge a book by its cover. So the same thing with a person, you never judge a book by their appearance.
Yeah.
Because she's a retired assassin, and she lives like a cat lady, because her paranoia, like her powers are she can turn into a cat. So she can understand cats, but she plays into that persona because I'm meek and I'm just an old cat lady. You know what I mean? So, like, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, but cat ladies can be,
Yes, of course, cats, obviously. But, I really liked that. It kind of played on the whole, don't judge a book by its cover. And she mentions it a couple times in the book, like, I like to play this, you know, character because people don't realize I'm a badass. And I'm like, fuck yeah! Come on! So that's kind of the books I've read this week. And For Rachel. Life happens. It happens. I mean,
I have been reading other things. I just haven't finished anything.
Oh, gotcha.
Besides Birthday Girl, obviously.
Yeah, you had to finish it.
Yeah.
So, I read it on Kindle. I know you have the physical book. I didn't realize there was a bonus chapter.
Yeah, I have book buying problems. So, if it comes out physically and I see it, then I usually pick it up. And then with certain companies, they add just a little, little extra.
Yeah. Make it feel like you get, your money's worth, especially by it makes it incentive to buy the physical. And I kind of like how I know Walmart and Target, I'm not sure about Meijer or any other brands but they are having exclusive like sprayed edge books.
Yeah.
Which
is annoying at some point.
Yes, it's annoying, but also really interesting. I mean, I like it, but yeah, it's like if you want to collect every different cover, it's going to be a little difficult.
Yeah.
Especially if you really like the book. But I kind of like that they're kind of branching out, but that's just personal preference.
I mean, I like sprayed edges and stuff, but I just hate having an exclusive and then you have another exclusive.
Yeah.
No, and then that's why I have 6 copies of freaking the Third Crescent City book because all of them had bonus chapters.
Oh, well, bonus chapters is a little different. Bonus content is a little different, but looks, I mean, you could, if you like the book enough, you don't care what it looks like,
Yeah.
You want it to look pretty, but that's beside the point. So, I think we're just gonna go right into talking about Birthday Girl, unless you had anything else.
Yeah, I'm fine with...
Okay. So, The Birthday Girl is by Penelope Douglas.
Yep.
Had a brain fart. I'm looking right at it. Can't word. Can't word.
Penelope Douglas.
Sorry, guys. Anyways. Let's see here. It's a romance.
Yes. It's an age gap.
Age gap slow burn.
Slow, kind of. Age gap, ex-boyfriend's father romance.
Yeah.
So it's a little taboo in that aspect.
Yeah.
I felt a little old considering he was 38.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't consider this old. But yes, it I guess it makes it more taboo because the main character, Jordan, her name's Jordan, is 19. Just turned 19, like, first chapter, I think.
Yeah, because it's her birthday on the first chapter.
Yeah. So, that's what kind of, I mean, still, it's only, like, what, 9-year age gap?
No, because his, well, I don't know. I'm not mathing right now.
To be continued. No, you're right. It can't be 9 because that would make 28. So I guess technically
it's 19, I think.
Yeah, 19-year age gap, which that seems like a lot.
Yeah, because he had Cole when he was like 18, 19.
Yeah. Okay. Cole is his son, and Pike is the dad and
the love interest. The main male character.
Yeah. The book is multiple POVs, but it just really does Jordan Pike's.
Which I like when a romance just does the two in the couple.
Yeah.
Or the multiple in the couple, depending, but the couple.
Yeah. I do like that as well. So it kind of starts off with, it's her birthday. She works at a bar, which
I don't understand the logistics of that because she's 19, but she's bartending.
Yeah, I know some states are different, but here in Indiana, you have to be 21 to serve alcohol. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. She is a bartender, so whatever, it works. She's kind of so Jordan is a student. Do you?
Yeah, Jordan's a student of. Not architecture design, like landscaping design. And she loves 80s, anything 80s, movies, music. Music was a big thing. Yes. The playlist was all 80s except for like 2.
Yes.
I listened to the playlist.
I listened to a couple songs. But then I forgot about that. But yeah, so it starts out with, I don't know. Do you want to go through the plot or the characters first?
Let's go with the characters first.
Okay, kind of established stuff. Okay, sorry guys, we're working stuff out. So there's Jordan, obviously the main character. She's 19. Her boyfriend is Cole, which is also
at the beginning of the book.
Yes, I'm sorry. At the beginning of the book, her boyfriend is Cole, 19. He's in road construction, and also Pike's son.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Pike is the dad, obviously. And then you have Cam, which is her sister, who is an exotic dancer at the Hook, which will come.
Yeah, important later. As a place called the Hook. It's kind of confusing if you're just saying the Hook.
And then Jay is her ex-boyfriend.
It's her first boyfriend, first ex.
It's her first boyfriend, but he's the ex before Cole.
Yes. God, why was it so hard? I felt like that was super complicated. Sorry. Yes. Let's see here. Less known characters. Shell is, I think, the owner of the bar that Jordan works at, or co-worker or something. Okay.
She's the owner, I believe. Yeah.
Not that she's not important. She's just not in the book a lot. Like, obviously. So then there's Killian, which is only mentioned once, which is Cam's son, by the way. So which is Jordan's nephew. He's literally only mentioned once. So.
He's mentioned a couple times, but by name once.
Yes.
Because I forgot his name.
Yes, I wrote his name down because I when I start reading, I'm like, character names, okay. And then I mark them out if they're not important. Because, some people aren't. And then the only other two people I have are Chip and Karina, which is the MC's dad and stepmother.
Yes. And then Lindsay, which is Cole's mom, Pike's baby mama.
Yeah, they never got married.
Did they? No, they didn't.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought it sounded like something floating down on the screen.
Someone's visiting us. Calm down.
It's the ghost that lives in my house. It's okay.
Yes. I mean, I haven't experienced anything crazy over here, but...
His name is Kevin. He's okay. Sometimes you gotta yell at him.
Fair enough. Okay, so basically, there's only 3 real places that are important in the book. So Pike's home, which you'll find out in a second why that's important. And then obviously the Hook, which is the strip club that Cam works at, that she's trying to get Jordan to work at.
Yes.
And then Grounders, which is the bar that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So, go with the first chapter. What happened?
Oh, okay.
Or the first kind of plot, because that's the end of the character line.
You forgot Dutch, but that's okay. Dutch is Pike's best friend.
Oh, yeah.
He comes in and out.
Yeah. But, my bad. He is a really good character, but yes.
Okay. So, starting out the first chapter, she's trying to get a ride from work, and Cole is not answering. I can't say, whatever.
He's not picking up the phone.
No. So she decides to walk to a midnight showing of Evil Dead, which I loved.
Oh, yeah?
That it was Evil Dead.
The original, by the way, because obviously 80s lover, so yes.
And then that's where she meets Pike for the first time.
Yes.
But she doesn't know it's Cole's dad.
Yes. So she is supposed to get off at 3 or 2 a.m. and then her boss lets her off at midnight because it is now technically her birthday, obviously. So she kind of gives her some wine. I was like,
at 19.
Yours is re-up the age again.
There's a bunch of... The age is important, first of all. Secondly, there's a lot of underage drinking in this.
Yes, there is. Cole is kind of an alcoholic, which we'll kind of get into a little bit.
I don't necessarily know if he's an alcoholic or if he's just young.
It could be both. I took it as more as he has a drinking problem. He might not be an alcoholic, I guess, and there is a distinction with that. But yeah, so she goes to, and so she kind of accidentally spills the wine, which wasted bottle of wine, but it's okay. And so that's kind of how she meets Pike at the theater.
And then they do their little meet cute.
It is kind of cute.
And then she tries to get a hold of Cole again, and he's not answering.
Yeah.
Because that's who Cole is at this point in the book.
Yes. I think she gets a call from Cole at the jail to like bail him out.
Pike gets a call from Cole because he.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like she tries to call him, he doesn't answer, and then Pike gets a call.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he got arrested.
Yeah, and he needed. Yeah, Cole needed money. Yeah, I forgot that part. Well, didn't forget. I just didn't remember how that worked. So then, obviously, Jordan finds out that Pike is Cole's dad by some weird coincidence.
I don't get how that came about. Like, how he knew that the Cole that she was talking to is the same Cole, his Cole.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a plot hole.
Yeah. I think another plot hole is you never see Pike do anything else remotely like that again. Like, he never talks about going to the movies.
Well, they have, like, little couch dates where they get the pizza and then they watch Fight Club. I know it was one of them.
Yes, I know. Fight Club was in there.
She goes, I was born in 1999, the same year that Fight Club came out. It's like, damn it.
Probably don't mention that, especially if you're trying to look a little older or mature, but okay, it's fine. But yeah, I don't know, I felt like I was missing to why he was there in the first place, I guess. Because I didn't really say. He was just like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
No, plot hole, it's fine.
Well, they had to have some way that
they had to, yes, I know that, but I wish there was more. I wish there was more context, but, so, yeah, so, then, obviously, it's kind of goes into the second or third chapter. I didn't have that written down. But basically, Cole got them kicked out of their apartment because, one, they had a party, or he had a party to celebrate.
I don't think the party was the issue. I think the fighting on the front
Yeah.
lawn of their apartment place was the issue.
Yeah, and Jordan was offered to stay at the apartment, but she couldn't afford it by herself, so they move in with Pike.
Yeah.
And that's where Pike's house comes into, because that's like the majority of where
this whole book takes place.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is fine. It's all good. So I don't really have. I mean, they're still like getting to know each other and finding the routine.
Yeah.
And she still kind of feels guilty. Jordan does about liking Pike.
Yeah, there's this back and forth with them.
Yes.
And a lot of it is like, well, I like him, but I'm also with Cole, and like,
or
vice
Pike,
versa. Yeah. Cole being Pike's son, so that's a little awkward.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that was an issue, because it made Pike seem like he actually cared about his son, and it didn't just like, I'm just gonna sleep with this girl.
Yeah. And that's like his main like hang up during the whole thing, even though I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me pause here. So really, it's kind of just like that. So they, Pike kind of likes having like a female touch to the house, and kind of like having someone stay there and not coming home to like an empty house.
Yeah.
Even though Cole's like never there.
Yeah, I think I'm glad she didn't like vilify Cole. Like, made him like a completely like,
it's just
like he did cheat on her, which is later in this.
Yeah, that's kind of the catalyst to everything else in the book, which is what I was trying not to like. But yeah,
but I felt like it was less that he was a bad guy and more that he just needed to grow up a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, Cole. It's one of those, like, they were friends before, and then they had kind of like a traumatic experience. One of their friends died in a car accident when Cole was supposed to be the one to pick him up, and he got drunk, and...
Which is a theme.
Yeah. And so he I don't think felt comfortable enough to go get him. So their friend, both Jordan and Cole's friend, it was like a, three friends together, and that guy died, which I don't remember his name. I don't know if they ever mentioned it. They might.
I feel like it started with an N, but I don't know.
Small character. So that kind of trauma bonded them into like a relationship. Yeah. I feel like, and I think they were better as friends, and then it was two against the world, and then Cole couldn't get his shit together, kind of thing.
Yeah. And Cole's 19, so it's to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, no, not knocking him at all. I mean, character development in the book is great towards the end.
Yeah.
And that's, like you said, didn't vilify him, because sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it's,
I just don't like to see when there's, obviously, Cole and Jordan were in game. We're not. Mm-hmm. And I don't like to see when the previous boyfriend's kind of like, oh, well, he was a piece of shit and he did this, and this. And then you're supposed to hate him. But I didn't want that for Cole.
Yeah, no. It just felt like he just wasn't ready to be an adult, period. And when you're not ready to be an adult, you're really not ready for a relationship at all. At least that's
definitely not
my opinion. Sorry, I should have prefaced that. But yeah, so it kind of gets to the point where Jordan finds out that Cole cheated.
Yes.
With a friend of theirs, which her name is Elaine. I don't know if that's important, but there's another character that I forgot to mention. But so, and then Cole just moves out because he kind of feels like he owes Jordan, I think.
Yeah.
And so he lets her stay there because he knows that she has nowhere else to go.
And also, he's kind of been, like, living off of Jordan. Like, she's been doing a lot of work towards bettering their future.
Yes, she's more of a planner. Like, she has a set goal, and she has kind of what she wants to do, and he just hasn't figured it out yet, which is fine. I mean, only 19, you don't know where you want. I don't know where I want to be, and I'm 33. Like, come on. So I kind of get that.
Yeah.
So that was I thought that was a really nice thing for Cole to do. To, like, let Jordan stay with his dad. And he even thanks his dad later, and like, thank you for, taking her on, and then he, like, leaves again. It's like, okay.
Because he's always, like, there for 2 seconds and he's gone.
Yeah, which, I mean, for the book, it was the best thing, obviously. But
it's just funny because he was like, oh, where's Cole? Not home.
Yeah. He's just, gone.
He's just gone.
And they obviously, if you couldn't tell, Pike and Cole don't really have, like, the greatest relationship, and it's because of the baby mama. I hate saying it, but it's kind of stereotypical, but, she was young, dumb, I mean, they both were.
Yeah.
Both of his parents were young and dumb. She got knocked up, Lindsay got knocked up, and then I don't know if in the beginning she was like this when Cole was a child or not, but I kind of got the feeling that she's just a gold digger and just wants a payout.
Yeah, I felt like she was more, if I can't have Pike.
Yeah. Yeah, flip that.
Then I don't want anybody else to have him. I also don't necessarily want him to be happy. And I'm going to ruin his relationship with Cole.
Yeah. Because she was very manipulative to Cole, against Pike. Even when he was a kind of a smaller child. But I don't know if that was her whole personality in the beginning or not.
Yeah.
But that towards the end, she was just anything to turn him against his dad, which is kind of a shitty thing to do. So, which I'm not going to get into because I don't think that's... So then, I guess the next, like, plot point, that's right after, she finds out he cheats. And he's been cheating on Jordan since her birthday, which is kind of shitty. Anyways.
Yeah.
You don't find out until later, obviously. Or a little bit later after she finds out he cheated.
Yeah, which the cheating is awful. Cooper, stop moving the table. But it's also Cole being young.
Yeah.
And he didn't feel like, you find out later that he was good enough for Jordan.
Yeah, he didn't. He had some things he was working through, but yeah, he didn't ever feel like he was who she needed to be with. And I think a lot of that has to with Come on, Cooper.
Go, bro. Go on.
So kind of the next thing that really kind of happens that pivots I feel like their Pike's and Jordan's relationship even further is Jordan's like, well, I can't fucking stay here. You know, like this is her, ex-boyfriend's dad at this point because she's done. She's broken up with him, period. Which I didn't really get until later on when she actually is like, I'm broken up. I'm like, this need to be clear earlier so I don't feel as guilty for you. But she did say that they are officially broken up. So she decides to move back in with her dad and stepmom.
Yes.
And, which is totally fine. She didn't want to go back. And we kind of figure out why. It's like a really small RV, and there's already like 3 adults living there.
Yes.
Yeah. Because her stepbrother, I'm not sure how old he was, but her stepbrother was like, I would say
he was at least a teenager.
Yeah. They're kind of living all in the RV, and so when Pike drives Jordan to the RV, trailer park kind of place, because her dad's kind of
a little bit of a drunk, I think, is what I got.
Yeah. I think the best description in the book was he goes through money like it's burning a hole through his pants or whatever that phrase is. I feel like I butchered that. I'm so sorry.
We get what you mean.
So I think Pike was like, no, you're coming back.
I love possessive Pike. I love it so much.
Yes, he was like, I think they only moved 1 box, and he was like, nope, pack it up, we're going back home, fuck this. Like,
well, he did that a couple times before, too.
Yeah.
Like, with the bar where she was wearing a corset.
Yes.
He was like, no, this is inappropriate.
Yeah.
And then he did it when she was mowing the lawn.
Oh, yeah. With the sleazy neighbor.
Yes.
Which is also the sleazy neighbor is named Kyle, which I thought was funny because that's your husband's name. But, I thought Kyle, the sleazy neighbor, was like a sleazeball, but I think he redeems himself in the end. But that's kind of later. But yes.
I think he's not a sleazeball, he's just horny.
Yeah. No, I just kind of felt like he was a sleazeball in the beginning, especially with that scene. And I'm like, oh, so he objectifies women, which, not my it's not my favorite kind of persona.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm like, oh, he's just kind of sleazy. But yeah, so Pike kind of takes her back home, or, well, his home, their home, whatever. And kind of sets like a new arrangement, and you don't see Cole for like ever. I just don't.
Till he randomly shows back up.
Yeah. So so she kind of takes care of the household like a traditional woman, I would say. But it's her love language, I felt like. She likes cooking and providing. Yeah.
Also, the first half of the book, every time she was in the pool, it was in her clothes. I thought this bitch did not have a swimsuit.
Well, she might not have. I mean, she literally only had like a couple freaking boxes left. But yes, it's always ended up in the pool with her clothes on. I mean,
it's like, whatever. But
yes.
There's a swimsuit.
It's fine. Let's see here. So I think I kind of had Jordan kind of realize that Pike's not the boys that she used to run with.
Yeah.
That he's like, oh man. I guess.
Oh man.
I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, we saw that in the shower scene.
Anyways. Yeah.
There were definitely 2 solo shower scenes I was like, why?
Don't worry about it, okay? Just don't worry about it. So, I guess, do you want to talk about the town and the flooding? That would be I feel like that's the next piece of where it kind of changes their relationship even more.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jay first.
Okay.
Because
Jay.
I think we didn't touch on him.
I mean, I don't want to touch him.
I don't either. But.
Yes, okay. Yeah, you go for it.
He was her ex-boyfriend. Come to find out he was a little abusive. Mm-hmm. And he's been circling around her this whole time.
Yeah, which I find weird.
Like, he tried to pick her up one night and she stayed at the bar, which caused a fight with her and Pike.
Yeah. Because he was jealous, thinking that she was out with another man.
Yeah.
They both have a really bad jealous streak, I feel like, but it's just because they feel guilty about liking each other.
And then he shows up after her and Cole break up at Pike's house.
Pike's house, which I'm glad you brought this up because I love the alpha bullshit he came up with. Pike's like peacocking, like, yeah, bro, like, get the fuck out.
Listen.
Yes, absolutely.
I love protective, possessive Pike, and it wasn't like he was overly protective of her. He's like, no, this is not happening.
Yeah,
I'm gonna shut this down right now.
Yes. Right after the bar scene, where they get Pike and Jordan kind of get into it, Shelly kind of lays into Pike and was like, yo, bitch, do you know why? Like, do you know why Jay's kind of an asshole? And she kind of spills the beans to Pike, so he kind of understands the dynamic better.
Yeah.
And then when Jay comes to that house, he's like, hell no, motherfucker, like, get the fuck.
Because I know exactly who you are.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like it that Jordan was like, no, I ain't fucking with this, like...
Yeah.
So, the whole reason Jay's kind of a dick is, obviously, Rachel kind of touched on that, he was kind of abusive. I think it was the first time he hit her, she was gone.
Yeah.
And I like that about, like, any kind of character, because it shows that you know that you deserve more.
Exactly.
Which, you know.
I also love that she saw him in the car and she's like, fuck this. I'm going back to the bar. Yeah.
And she just sleeps.
But I wish she would have called Pike.
Well, she kind of felt guilty because she felt like, you know, like she shouldn't lean on him.
Yeah. Well, I guess she didn't want to get Cole in trouble either, but you were at a bar by yourself.
Yeah. At 2:00 in the fucking morning, like, and the whole, like, the way Jay's like, well, Pike, or Cole asked me to come get you. It's like, no. You did this on purpose. Like, you're trying to get back in her pants, I guess? Like,
trying to fuck with her, I think, is maybe what it is. I don't think he necessarily wanted a relationship with her.
Oh, no. He just wanted to hook up. Maybe?
He wanted to fuck with her.
Yeah. And probably rub in Cole's face, too. That's beside the point.
Yeah.
So, yes, very good. I forgot about, I guess I didn't forget. I just don't like Jay. So I was like, fuck you, dude.
This is before Pike and Jordan got together, so I wanted to touch on him.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, great point.
Because he also comes back in later.
Yes.
I also wrote yes, daddy on my notes. This was the lawn. This was the fight about the lawn.
Yes. It's actually kind of funny because I wrote down my favorite quote too, but it's not that one.
This one's not my favorite. I just thought it was funny that she goes, yes, daddy. Like, she's...
I know.
She's fucking with him.
Oh, yeah. They fuck with each other. Like, come on. Like... But yeah, that's a pretty book. I'm glad you wrote that down. That's hilarious. So, I think we're up to the point where
they start to actually get together.
Yes, which is like 60% into the book, by the way.
Listen, the first fight scene is like 65% into the book.
I know. That's why I scored it when I scored it, which you'll find out in a second. Anyways, that's beside the point. So I think we're to the point where the town is on the verge of flooding.
Yes.
So do you want to go?
So there's been talk of thunderstorms throughout the whole book, really.
Yeah, there's, like, a ton of, like, storms, and Jordan doesn't really care for them.
Yeah.
But it's not like she's, like, not like, oh my god, I'm so scared, I can't move.
But a real bad storm comes, and it starts to flood the river in the town,
Mm-hmm.
I think is what it is. So the townspeople decide that they're going to sandbag the river so houses don't flood. Meanwhile, he's flirting with April.
Fuck April. Which is the main chick that Jordan gets jealous of.
And then, so after they're done with that, they go mudding. Is that what happens after that? Is that
yes.
the mudding scene?
Yeah, which I really didn't know what mudding was. I kind of had to, I mean, I kind of knew from the description, but I wanted to look it up to see, like, if I was, so basically it's just a mud track that is out in the boon somewhere.
Yeah.
And he has an older truck that has seen some better days, but it's an older truck, Pike's truck. And so, yeah, they kind of go mudding, and they roll down the windows. I mean, I don't
mud everywhere.
Mud everywhere, which I think would be fun in the moment, but, like, clean up, like, no. I hate it so much. I don't know how you would get it clean. That's my main thing.
The inside of the truck, yes.
Like, I was just thinking, I'm like, oh my god. They didn't talk about it in the book, which I'm like,
they also didn't say if he had leather seats or if he had cloth seats. Because if it's cloth, you're fucked.
Yeah, no. I needed the scene where they clean them. I need that in my life.
You got the scene where they cleaned each other.
I mean, it's okay, fine. But my brain needed the cleaning of the truck, okay? Anyway. So yes, they get back to the house, and Rachel mentioned that they clean each other off.
And then they start some heavy petting.
That's a very good term, thank you. I was gonna say they're getting it off.
And then Cole shows up.
Like, damn, like, cock-blocked by his own son. But I think Pike was happy-ish. Like, obviously he wasn't like, oh yeah, Cole, what's up, man?
Yeah.
But I feel like Pike wasn't ready to have sex with Jordan, I guess, or finally commit to that full relationship.
Yeah.
But
why did Cole show up? Just because?
So I had to pick up some things from my notes. So he must have came by to pick up, like, a clothing. And then he was out because he's still staying with a chick that he cheated on Jordan with, which did it together. Okay. Sorry, I lost you. So yeah, Cole stops by, and then what else? I feel like that's all that really happens until the next day.
And then he gets a call from Lindsay, I think. That was shortly after, where he got a call and said that Cole lost his job.
Yeah, that was kind of... I kind of have that a little bit later, but that's where... So Lindsay, from my understanding, Lindsay, or from my recollection, I should say, not understanding, that Lindsay called Pike right after they had sex. So we're not there yet, because they haven't had sex yet. That's the first time Lindsay was like, hey... Well, no, it's actually the second time, but Pike's not involved with Jordan in the beginning, but Pike was like, no, bitch.
Yeah.
Booty, no. Which, I think because he was kind of getting into Jordan.
Yeah.
Because I kind of felt like in the book, it was like, he had done that in the past, like, had, like, a booty call with her.
Yeah.
And then he chose not to, and I think that kind of pissed Lindsay off.
Yeah.
Because, like, she comes at him, like, super hard after that again. It's like, bro, like, he rejects you. Get the fuck up. Like, anyway.
Oh, I think I know what happened. They went to that, like, block party. Because that was before they got together. Because she went off with, what's his name? Mm-hmm. And then he went off with April.
Yes.
And she threw a damn fit.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of... So right after the mudding, And then she babysits the Kyle's kids. And it's kind of like a pool party, and Pike's like, oh, I thought I'd be worn out because I'm so old to have kids.
I'm so old. I'm 38.
That's his point of view, not mine. I didn't say this. But yeah. So I feel like that was kind of an important for him to realize. Oh, he's like, I didn't think I wanted more kids, you know. And then he babysat, and he was like with Jordan. So I felt like I was like, oh, well, maybe I can do this. And then it's right after that Jay stops by and kind of tries to hook up with her, and then Pike goes, you know, all daddy alpha on her. I was like, get the fuck out! So yeah. And then I think it's the cookout. The cookout, and then the wives are like, well, we're not trying to be gossips, but and then talk about how like Pike used to be kind of just like cool, going out partying, speeding, breaking the rules, yada yada yada.
Yeah, but again,
and then he had to grow up because he had the kid.
Yeah,
he had Cole, not the kid. I'm sorry. So
I think that's another reason why Pike is so resistant towards Jordan, is because Cole has so much growing up to do, and they're the same age.
Yeah.
So he's like, she's still a kid because my kid is still a kid.
I can kind of see that. Yeah, they both feel guilty throughout the entire thing, which drives me insane. But, I mean, obviously, I feel like if I was in her shoes, I'd probably feel guilty too.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I hate that society was like, age gaps are terrible, like, it's taboo, it's gross, it's like, it's just...
To a certain extent.
Yes, to a certain extent, but, like, if you're both adults, like, what the... Do what you want, do what makes you happy. But, so then at the cookout, Jordan's like, I don't think I can do this, because Pike wants to be a great dad to Cole.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I just... feels guilty about it because she wants that for him, and she's kind of the obstacle. Or Cole's the obstacle, really, in their relationship, but she doesn't want to take that away from Pike to be a good dad.
Yeah. And then she goes off with, what's his name, which I forgot who he is.
It's like Chad or something. It's not Chad. But it's like a Chad character, but that's anything. Yeah, he wanted to get with her.
Yeah.
Charles, maybe? I feel like it started with a C.
It might have. I don't remember his name.
I'm gonna go
He's not important. He's in, like, one scene.
Yeah, that's true. And so Pike kind of feels jealous that, you know, she left the cookout that they went to together to leave with a guy around her age. So
he brings April back to the house.
Yeah.
And they're in the basement playing
pool. Yeah. Yeah. So she kind of leaves Chad, whoever he is.
Mysterious guy.
Serious guy, because they go to, like, some kind of diner and hang out, which, she's just like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah. And they weren't even hanging out. Like, she was hanging out with some random chick.
Yeah. Like, it was just such a weird dynamic. So, then she's like, okay, well, I'll drive around. And then she goes back home. And then Pike has some chick, so
they get into a fight.
Yeah,
they fought a lot.
They did. It's because they felt so guilty about liking each other, or the attraction.
Yeah.
So,
but it's annoying when, like, just let him help you.
Yes. I was like, won't we? It drives me insane. So, yes. The cookout, and I think that's when they finally have sex. Yes. So April leaves. She got cock-blocked by Jordan. And obviously they do a little bit of fighting, and then they're just like...
Oh yeah, that moment was amazing though, because I love in books when they are in an argument. Like, it's like an enemies to lovers. They're in an argument, and she is giving him the business, and he's just trying to hold it together. He's trying to hold it, and then he snaps, and then they go at it, and I love it.
Yes. So then they finally have sex. I feel like the romance in this is fine for the book it is. I don't feel like it was very spicy.
Yeah.
But I figure we can kind of go over that when we do our ratings. But it's kind of more like vanilla sex, I feel like.
Yes, definitely vanilla.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's when Lindsay calls
Except for she's kind of a brat.
I'm just saying. I mean, she's 19.
Yes, but
yes. But yeah, that's when, after they have sex, I think he gets up for some kind of reason, get a drink or something, and Lindsay called him and was like, "Hey, you want to have a booty call?" And he's like, "No, I already had one." And I think that pisses her off because he hangs up on Lindsay, and I feel like she's the type of girl or the type of woman to be like, "You don't fucking mess with me, bitch." You know? So I think that's what pushed her to the next part, which is, I think, Lindsay. No, this is when Lindsay shows up to the house. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because her and Cole stay for a little bit.
Yeah, but that's before that. So Lindsay comes over and was thrown out at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It was so fucking weird. Which, that's when he normally wakes up to go to work, I think. Because he works, Pike works in construction. He owns his own business.
Yes.
Kind of, okay. So then, I think that's an important part for Lindsay. Or, I'm sorry. Important part for the background for Cole. So Lindsay comes and was like, "I want a booty call." And he was like, "No." And then Pike lets it out of the bag because we as readers didn't know that Cole was giving half his paycheck to her.
Yeah.
And like guilt tripped her, she guilt tripped him into, "I need money." I think because the child support ran out on him.
Well, after 18, he doesn't get child support anyways.
Yeah, so she's just money hungry, so she guilts him in, and that's why they never have money and why Cole can't ever go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's sad. So, that's the point where you find out that Cole quit his job and we don't know it at the time, but looking more into his actual future, what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So, and then that's when Cole's like, "Dad." I don't know why. It doesn't explain why they need to move in for like 2 days.
Lindsay's having something done with her apartment, I guess.
I don't know.
Cole has already broken up with whatever girl
Elena.
he was sleeping with.
It's just so weird.
And when Lindsay and Cole are there, Lindsay throws a fit about sleeping on the couch.
Yes. Yeah. And so she's like, "Well, why can't I have her room? They can sleep together. Cole and Jordan can sleep in the same room together." And I'm like, "That's fucking bitch." Like, you're asking for a favor on top of a favor. But I think that's the point where Jordan feels like Pike's never going to stand up for her.
Yeah.
So she's like, "It's fine. Whatever." Okay, we're back to Ice Jordan. Which, I mean, I totally get. You just had sex with someone, and a couple days later, their baby mama moves in, and your ex-boyfriend,
and she takes your room,
yeah.
and your guy that you're sleeping with, because they're not together.
Yeah, they're not together. Yeah, quotations.
Doesn't stick up for you. Doesn't go, "Hey, I'm gonna tell my kid this."
Yeah.
So that he knows.
Yeah. And I felt like in that moment, I feel like Pike was right. He shouldn't have.
Yeah.
It was the wrong time, period. So
they have a fight because he won't stick up for her.
Yes.
And then she moves out. She goes to Cam's house for a couple days.
And then she decides to come back, and Cole's throwing a party at the house for some reason.
It's like a going away party, but they don't know it's a going away party at the time.
Yes.
And she's there to get some of her stuff because she's not going to stay.
Yeah.
She's decided that it's not worth her time to be in a situation where she's not chosen first.
Yeah.
But Pike can't choose her first right now.
Yeah. And I totally get that. I totally agree with her. Like, yeah, she should. She knew. Like I said in the beginning, she knows what she deserves. And that's what I really like about her character. So, when she's coming back and getting her stuff, you find out that Lindsay never slept in her bed because it's still made, nothing's changed, nothing's moved. So she thinks, I don't know if it's like talked about in the book, but I think she thinks that, well, Lindsay got with Pike. So I think that kind of nail and coffin.
Well, Lindsay tried to get with Pike, and he told her no.
Yes, that's true, but she doesn't know that, you know? So, and then that's kind of when Jay pops up again. You know, the dickhead we talked about earlier. Yeah. He kind of pops in, and
he spills the beans about everything.
Fucking dick.
In between getting punched in the face by not only Pike, but Cole.
Yes. But before that, while they're still in the room, I fucking love this, where Jordan's like, Jay comes up, he's like, you know, you miss me, you know? And she's like, telling him exactly what she's fucking not missing, like, what, you 2 chomp 1 second, like, I'm like, damn, girl, like, get him! So, of course, he gets pissed off about that and runs, you know, and then that's when he finds out, well, I don't know, it's like a little bit later, I would say like 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
He kind of like sees interaction there, the interaction between Jordan and Pike, where they're arguing, and she's like, you didn't put me first kind of shit, you know? And that's when Jay's like, oh, so you want a daddy figure? I can be a daddy figure. It's like, you, like, I hate this character, but you're supposed to, which is, you know, it's about,
yeah.
But, so yeah, that's what I like. I wrote that. She tells him definitely, he's definitely not missing, or what she's definitely not missing. I'm like, I fucking love it. Like, but yeah, that's when Pike hits, or I think he kind of like shoves him out the fucking door, like, get the fuck out of my house. And then Cole kind of defends Jordan by punching Jay and knocks out a tooth, which, hell yeah. Like, violence! No. So, and then Jordan kind of runs to the bar, because that's all really she's known. And
she gets the fuck out of town.
She leaves, yeah. She leaves. I feel like we missed the part about Cam, her sister, kind of always was trying to get her to work at the strip club.
Oh yeah, we skipped the strip club completely.
I mean, in the
we also skipped the wet teacher contest.
Yeah, we're skipping a lot. We're gonna edit that back together. So short cliff notes is Cam's like, I make a lot of money at the strip club, and tries to get Jordan to work there, and she's just like, it's not my morals. I guess is the best way to put it.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, she feels like that's kind of private, which is totally fine. It's not for everyone. I don't think I could do it. So yeah, and then I don't know. Do you want to talk about the wet t-shirt contest? Because I didn't really.
Well, he just basically shows up because they've had a fight and she's left again.
It's a theme. Sorry, this one's not very cohesive. I apologize. I feel like I wrote down pretty like important parts, but I guess I just didn't feel
then, like, he basically says, I want to be with you. Like, we shouldn't. For right now, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
The Cole situation.
Yeah.
Which Jay figures out the Cole situation.
Yeah. So that kind of puts us back into Jordan leaves. She's like, you know, I can't, Pike doesn't want to choose me. And she's fine with that. So she just well, obviously she's not fine with it, but the only thing that she can do, and her only avenue, is to leave town. It's like 12 hours away at her cousin. Her cousin owns like a hotel or something.
I think it was a pen pal. Like, she met at summer camp, I believe.
Oh. I thought it was a relation of some sort.
No, I think it's just a friend.
Oh. My bad.
But it's in Virginia.
Yeah.
And it's a hotel.
Yes. I heard that part right. And so it's 2 months.
Yes.
2 months.
And those 2 months we get Pike's perspective, but we don't get Jordan's perspective.
Not towards the, not towards the end, yeah.
And this is where we find out that Cole joined the Navy. Mm-hmm. And Pike can't talk to him after he just found out that Pike and Jordan were sleeping together.
Yeah. Pike kind of goes crazy trying to contact any of them. Like, Cole and Jordan.
Yeah.
And Cam's like, no, fuck you. Sheldon's like, no, fuck you. She's safe, and that's it. That's all you need to know. And he's like, okay, fair enough.
The U.S. Navy was like, no, fuck you.
Pretty much. Cole goes into the Navy, and, there's some, I guess, some stipulation where you can't talk to people the first
For basic, I don't think you can talk to people
at all.
At all.
Okay, so 2 months. So, you do find out that Pike goes to Cole's graduating ceremony, which is around the 2-month mark. So
yeah, and then he finally decides, he's like, I can't live without her. I can't live without Jordan. I've been doing DIY projects around the house.
Oh my god, yes.
On a constant.
Yeah, he's like, his house was already, I feel like, really beautiful. And then he was just like, well, I've done this. I added a clothesline. I'm running out of shit to do.
But he didn't build her a gazebo. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, he was thinking about taking out this damn pool, filling it in, putting a gazebo there. So then Cole kind of comes back, and Cole kind of realizes, damn, Dad, you did a lot for me. I had some time to reflect. I realized all the stuff that you did for me. You're not a bad dad. Lindsay was trying to poison him into believing. So I thought that was a nice little, repair in friendship. And then they go get tattoos.
Yes.
Which I'm all about.
Pike's tattoo sounds so cute, though.
I know. I actually wrote it down, yes! So Cole got some anchor to do with the Navy, which, cool, good for him.
Cooper!
Bro, get down!
Down!
Sorry, dog problems. So Pike kind of actually gets a, candle tattoo, which I can't believe we never mentioned this before, is actually super fucking important. So this is going back to my favorite quote. So my favorite quote that Jordan says, because Pike kind of noticed that she blows out a candle like you would a birthday candle. So he asked her, what's up with that quirk,
Yeah.
And I'm on a direct quote, so I don't fuck it up. Okay, so Jordan says, birthday wishes don't always come true. So I don't want to waste a chance when I blow out a candle. So every time, there's a candle to blow out, she, closes her eyes, make a wish, and blows it out. And, heart melts because he got that tattoo. I'm like, ah! So cute. So he got it to remember her by, because he didn't think he would man up to to go to her, maybe. So yeah, go for it. What's the next important?
Okay, the next important thing. He tracks her down.
No. I mean, yes. But I feel like the pivotal to that is Cole kind of was like, Dad, no one's better without you in your life, and I'm like, oh! And then he goes into Jordan's room, which it sounds like the first time since she left. And she has some kind of, bucket list or scrolls written.
She's a dream jar.
Okay, thank you. Dream jar. So he pulls out stuff and just starts reading, and he's just like, oh, shit. He's like, oh my god, I can do everything with her. So he kind of, realizes, oh, shit, I fucked up. And then, yes, now go on.
Now, because
that was important, Rachel. It was important.
It was important because it was sweet, and you're just like, oh, Pike.
Yes, I know. I was like, ah. Okay, but yes, I'll let you take over.
If you can tell, I liked Pike.
This was a really good book. I would definitely recommend reading it or something else by her, because this is the first that I've read by
we'll
her.
get into that later.
Yes, sorry. I'm trying to jump ahead.
But he shows up at the hotel. And her friend is at the desk when he shows up. And he goes, do you know Jordan Hadley, I think is what her last name was?
I didn't write it down, but it sounds right.
Okay. And her friend's like, I don't think she knew what to say, really.
Yeah. And she just like kind of flounders, and then Jordan walks out from behind the back because I think she's in like the restroom or something.
Yeah,
something mundane.
Like, I'm going.
Yeah,
bye.
She's like, see ya. And then obviously he brings her back with her. I mean,
he promises her everything.
Yeah, yes, which I thought was really, really cute. And then I think I wrote chapter 29, which is a very short chapter, but it's a year after that.
Yes.
And he kind of proposes
on an ATV, on a four-wheeler.
Four-wheeler.
Because they're going mudding, and he's teaching her how to drive a four-wheeler.
Yeah, because that was on her bucket list. dream jar. And then the epilogue is kind of like 9 years later, and you find out that they have one kid already together.
Yes.
And one on the way.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I felt like he was like, man, I'm getting old. I'm like, dude, you said that in the beginning! Like, pick a lane!
He wasn't old in the beginning.
I know, but I'm just like, pick something, dude. Like, come on. But yes, anyways.
Cooper.
And then, so, this is where she had to, like, send me the link because I guess
there's a bonus scene.
Yeah, this is where the bonus chapter comes in. And I was like, shit. I was like, take pictures. I need it. I need to read this. Obviously, since we're going to talk about it. But luckily, Rachel found a link from, I think it's her website.
Yeah.
That I read it. And
it was cute because
it was so cute.
She dressed up as Anna Paquin, and he was supposed to be Principal Wilkins from Trick or Treat. And I love it.
Yes. And of course he doesn't because he's a party pooper. Anyways, not the point. Yeah, so it happens around Halloween time. And this is supposed to be in between him proposing and in between the
hotel. It's
the hotel,
in that area.
After the hotel, before the proposal. Yes. Which is, I don't know. How did you feel about the bonus chapter?
I understand why it was a bonus chapter.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't need to be, it wasn't needed.
Yes. Yeah. I just felt like it added a little bit more they're still trying to figure things out with their relationship.
And they're trying to work out how they're going to be together and
deal with
negative
perceptions about their relationship kind of thing. Which, yeah, it was definitely just a bonus chapter, but it was just like,
yeah,
like, I need more! So it was kind of a nice little, like, cause I felt like it should have just, yeah, like, it wasn't needed, but I would have liked it in the actual book.
Yeah.
But I can kind of see why it wasn't. Like, it wouldn't have flown right with the rest of the stuff.
Also, I hate, at the end of romance books, I knew this was where it was going anyways, they were going to have a kid, but I hate we're living happily ever after, so we're going to have a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Tad bit fact about me, Rachel, we don't want kids. Sorry.
So this is a childless adult.
Yes. Obviously, besides fur babies. It's just not, I don't know, I can't speak for you. Sorry, Rachel. But I never wanted kids. So, but, I mean, it's not for me, doesn't mean it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of how I
just
look at
wish
it.
That sometimes in romance books, they're like, we don't have to have kids.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We can be happy without that.
It's the white picket fence dream. You know what I mean? So, like, with this one, it felt right to kind of do that.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned that he wanted kids, and she wanted kids too. So it was kind of like it aligned goals, and that's kind of one of the reasons why they decided to Pike decided to man up and just do it. Like, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about the book besides the ratings?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, like I said, this was my first book that I read by Penelope Douglas. And I would definitely read something of hers again. So
this is my second book by Penelope Douglas.
Okay.
I liked this one. I fucking hate Credence.
Oh, I remember you saying that. So this was kind of like a second chance book for this author for you then?
Yes.
Okay. I can dig that.
I think my issue with Credence was it was too close to... It was a taboo romance where she hooks up with her step uncle and step cousins.
Oh,
okay. It's kind of a why choose. And they were into dirt bikes. And I was like, no. We ain't doing this. We ain't doing it.
Like, no thank you. Totally fine.
Like, that is too close to my family. No.
Totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah, okay. I can't throw my opinion on there because I not read the book.
I'm just saying, it's a no for me.
Okay, that's totally fine. Totally. We all have stuff we don't like.
Yeah.
It's okay. So my overall rating for the book altogether was 3.5 stars.
Mine was 4. So
it was only 3.5 stars because, well, not really because, I just felt like it was missing the level of romance that I was used to reading, I guess.
Well, the romance or spies?
Shush. Yes. No. So the spice level I gave this book was a 2, and only because it was mostly vanilla sex, which is totally fine. I'm not knocking it. Just on a spice level, it needs to be a little up there to be higher on the spice level. I think I gave it a 2 because closer to the end, they kind of like are I forget the word. Exhibitionists. But I think that was a bonus chapter.
That was in the barn of the bonus chapter.
I know, but that's what gave it a 2. Otherwise, it would have got a 1. So, that's.
I mean, I can agree with the 2 on a spice scale because there were open door scenes. There were 2 or 3 of them, I believe, and there were 3 masturbation scenes.
Yes. Yeah, like the video call kind of like, I'm touching myself without you because I can kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just don't, I mean, I don't know. I give it
But vanilla is not
your
flavor in books.
I mean, it is, but I just felt like it took too long. That's why I consider it a slow burn. But I mean, I know there's other stuff that happened, but like...
They didn't get together until the last half of the book. So, I get it. It was kind of a slow burn.
Yes, it was. But I felt like it was necessary to build up that...
The tension and like...
explain kind of reasoning why, and she hammers that in about the guiltiness, and I'm like, God damn, like, don't feel guilty. Like, you're making me feel guilty about this. But, I mean, that's kind of why it's like a taboo. Age gaps are taboo like that.
Yeah.
Because of that reason. Because there's so many factors that go into it.
I think this one was more of a tame taboo, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, they didn't have conflict as far as them getting together.
Yeah. It was more of, like, he wasn't fighting for her.
Yeah. You know? Cole kind of, like, accepted it pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, he went to basic and he was like, alright.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, which is fine. I mean, I think it helped because I didn't want him to be, like you said, I didn't want Cole to be, like, a hateable character.
Yeah.
But it was just, he just needed to grow up. He needed structure in his life. And hopefully Basic did that. It sounds like it did.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a lot of time to reflect and he's like, man, she deserved better, you know, like... I felt like he kind of opened up to be like, oh,
I think he knew from
the beginning,
like, at least since they moved in with Pike, that he was gonna, like, he kind of didn't deserves the wrong word, Jordan, but he didn't, like, live up to
didn't
her
feel like he earned her, like he should have, yeah. No, I totally get that. But yeah, well, that's a pretty high rating for me.
Yeah. So you're gonna try... another book by her?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind trying another book by her, 100%.
I think the Devil Knight series is pretty good, which I own. But
we're ambitious. We already got April's books, but
we're not reading those right now.
No, it's too much. I'm sorry. But yeah, I would totally read something. So the fun thing about Kindle is once you start reading, like, some of the books I'm reading for the podcast and stuff, it's like showing me things like, hey, you want to read this because it's similar or by the same author? I'm like, oh, okay, well, hold on, yeah. Like, which I kind of like, which is kind of what we started this. We wanted to branch out and stuff, so I felt like that was kind of fun.
Just stay away from Credence.
Okay. I'm gonna have to read it on a show, like, I don't know. Anyways. So I don't think I have anything else, do you?
No, I don't think so. Our book for next week, which is
Boom!
To Kill a Shadow by Catherine Quinn. I forgot how to read for a second.
You have the sprayed edge book. I'm pissed off about that.
Yeah, except for it's white, so it's...
I know! I was just talking to my husband. I was like, you know, because I usually take the slip covers off, because I actually have this physically as well. So this is going to be our next week's book, which is not going to be on a Wednesday. It's going to be on a Thursday next month. Or next week. I'm trying to go away. It's fine. It's fine. So, yeah, and we're going to move it. You know, obviously life happens. It's fine. But we hope you guys check it out. And I hope you enjoyed us talking about The Birthday Girl. And I think
that's it. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.